this is the moment in which coaching takes into the whole thing. Coaching can never be reduced to a set of formulas. In case of A, do Z. In case of C, do X. In case of... It truly brings back in you the possibility to look at the way you look, and therefore to see that that way of seeing makes you blind to, deprives you from. But then when you have the freedom to take a look there where you before couldn't, new possibilities come. And let me give you simple examples. Maybe too simple, but anyway, let's go for it. Let's run the risk. Columbus didn't have better technology in his time than any other sailor. Didn't have better sailors. Didn't have more money. And you know what? He did a trip that nobody had done at that time. How come? The action he took was possible not because of technological devices, it's because a different worldview, a different conception of reality. And actually, example of that you can find everywhere. Where you begin to see a different world, you intervene differently. Let me work with another example that I give it to you, particularly in one conversation that we have, I think it was in Singapore. You go to a physician of the Western tradition with a pain in your shoulder, and he or she is going to treat you in a particular way, right? You go with the same pain to a physician trained in the Chinese tradition, and is going to intervene in a completely different way. Maybe needles and energy flows and who knows what. How come? Because they literally don't see the same shoulder. It's as simple as that. Different reality provokes different intervention. When I see marriage in one way, I have only certain ways to intervene. But if I see it in a different way, others show up. But we are so used to, and this is another thing about modernity, there's only one truth, a final one. There's only one way to perceive, that is knowledge. It's always the pursuit of the thing. Wisdom holds different truths, different possibilities, different ways to intervene. Wisdom is fundamentally to integrate. Knowledge is about to divide and separate. That's why we have so many specializations. And for me then, the coach, what a coach does is what Joseph Campbell taught us years ago. And excuse me to repeat this, but I'm doing it for our guest. Joseph Campbell, one of the wisest men I've met in my life. I adore that man, and I hope he's enjoying. Joseph Campbell said one day to us, every time that a society, a civilization, a community reaches the point where they see that the level of knowing they have is insufficient to deal with the level of issues they have to face, that community needs to gather in sacred place and have the courage to say, we don't know. And then our soul needs to be speaking, and we are not going to be criticizing what is being said, but we are going to hold everything that is being said to develop a new listening. And for me, coaching has a lot to do with that. But it's not about giving you formulas and solutions. For that goes to a counselor, an advisor.